Right now, so Van Lathan is breaking down DDG, his accusations against him right now. So let's check it out.
Are really invested into. She had a lot of evidence that went along with this. I saw she had chipped her tooth. She had bruises on her. I know that there is a custody situation here. And I will say this, particularly when there is custody stuff that happens, you see these types of allegations made, because when there is a custody case between two people, they are going to bring up the worst things that they can say about the other person in order to make the case to the judge about why they should have custody of the kid. We've seen this before.
I don't know if I like the way you're phrasing it.
That's true.
I wouldn't say that they're bringing up the worst things. I think that it might just be, they're obviously horrible things. I guess I would just say it in, they're saying things that they never said before, right? There's a reason that she has to seek sole custody, which she was granted. In addition to the temporary restraining order, she was also granted in this time sole custody of the child. But it's not bringing up the worst things like, I'm just trying to prove up my case. It's bad things have happened. It's gotten to the point where now I have to go public with it in order to protect myself. And in this case, my child.
Well, that depends on whether or not you let me tell you why I say what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, I worked at TMZ for 9 years, right? Like a long, long time. I say that all the time. And so I saw all of these types of cases. And I'm not just talking about from the lady to the guy. I'm talking about from the guy to the lady. Like, from the guy to the lady, this woman is a terrible mother. She's never around for the kid. She's always out working. She takes the kid to places where she parties and does drugs and gets high and does all of that stuff. Jenny and Jeezy, right? Jenny and Jeezy. All right. They're going through a divorce. Now, it's not me and Jeezy are happy or whatever. He's a good father. Let's do this. It's Jeezy is walking around the house with an AK-47. Jeezy is all this. So, and then from his standpoint, it's going to be like, she's consumed with this. She's consumed with that. She's a liar. It's infidelity, all of that. I'm talking about in the grander scheme of things, not looking into these people's relationship and saying who is right and who is wrong. I'm saying typically when custody is at the center of something like this and there's a breakup and there's a kid involved, and particularly when it's two public figures, what you start getting from each of them is how terrible the other person is. And so, like, when I kind of see this stuff in the custody case, it doesn't make me say that it's any less true, but I have to be honest that I've seen a lot of this. And in seeing it, that's typically the way that it comes out.
Well, you can bring up things on both sides where it's like you just don't know, right? That's what this says, which is why you started off saying like there's not a lot to say or you don't really know, because we're just getting the information that she's putting in this temporary restraining order.
So let me just stop this real fast. When it comes to this streamer DDG, these accusations against him, I gotta say that I don't believe for even 1 second that this man has done anything to his former girlfriend, because he actually seems to be laid back dude. So I think this is just all cap. So let's get back to the clip.
Which is like she needs relief immediately, which was granted, and she submitted evidence. Her evidence, the judge agreed, awarded her full custody. I believe until July 2nd is when the next thing is going to happen. But you brought up the age thing and saying like you don't really know that much about them or this couple because they're 20 years younger than you. And I think what's sad is that when I look at the things that are surrounding that we do know so far, it's like it doesn't matter if you're 45 or you're 25. It's like the same stuff over and over again. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors with people's relationship. This was a couple that was praised. He's big in the streaming community, millions and millions of followers. When they got together, A Little Mermaid had not come out yet, but she was filming it in the process of it. Her star has only gotten bigger and bigger. Color Purple, Little Mermaid, so many opportunities. And it seems like their relationship began to deteriorate after that. Don't know why. Don't know. Can only assume certain things because we don't know what goes behind closed doors. But the other thing that is sad is the damage that's being done, I would say, to her reputation in the streaming community. You have, once again, it seems like, and it doesn't matter if you're 45 or 25, it's like man versus woman. You've got, and we don't know what's true and what's not true, but you've got immediately this comes out, becomes public. DDG is on a streaming,
He's streaming with Adin Ross.
Is streaming with Adin Ross.
Yeah.
When he gets this information, convenient. And immediately, Adin Ross is coming to his support, demonizing Halle, demonizing the situation, and automatically, without knowing anything, believing DDG. And he's not the only one. You had a lot of men in the streaming community, which is male dominated, automatically saying, we believe DDG, we stand by him. And that shouldn't be the response. And it happens no matter what age you are. You automatically see people take sides and it becomes a gender wars thing. When the reality of the situation is this is a relationship that has gone bad for whatever reason. And there's a child involved at the end of the day, a young child, which is what makes this sad. And you kind of could see, like, if I do go back, one thing I do remember, we don't know a whole lot, but I do remember DDG coming out, using his streaming platform, millions of people to say that he's not able to see his son. And then all these people started developing opinions about Halle, about their relationship, and it became super negative. And now this is coming out. And what I would say is, I would like for this to not be, it will be, because it already is, thought out in the court of public opinion, and let these people handle their relationship and do what's best for their child. Because it's done for them, it seems like. But how can this child grow up in a healthy household with two parents?
All right, now, so there you have it. First of all, I want to thank y'all so much for tapping into my channel. I appreciate y'all. In the clip I want to show y'all, that was Van Lathan, the former TMC reporter. He was fired from TMC wrongfully, if you ask me. And now he has his own podcast and also do interviews with other podcasters from time to time. And he was breaking down the DDG case. He's this streamer from Detroit. He would stream in Detroit and then later move to LA. And in LA, that's where he was able to get a big record deal contract. So he signed a multi-millionaire record deal contract. And he has not been able to have a breakthrough and become a big rap artist. But when it comes to being a YouTuber, he has a lot of fans, a lot of subscribers. He probably has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And now his former ex-girlfriend, Halle Bailey, the former mermaid, she would star in the Little Mermaid movie. She alleges that he was doing some bad things to her. And I gotta say that I think that the guy seems to be a laid-back dude, and I don't believe for 1 second that he has done what she's claiming. So, let me know what you think about this. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next videos.